check this out. This is the funnest part of the panel. The way that the onomatopoeia resonates out of the chapter, breaking the gutter lines. It's like the ringing of the bell. Round one, baby. Ding! What makes a piece of art fine art? Is it the skill used? Or the message and story? Or is it just because a museum displays these work of arts? Welcome to the V Peak of Fiction, our fictional museum where we get to appreciate peak art. Just like in a museum, people go by and they stand by these works of arts and they take some time to have art reveal itself to you. Have you ever taken time with just any panel and let it reveal itself to you? That's what we're going to do here at the Peak of Fiction. We're the patrons of fictional art, and we're here to appreciate some peak panels, because I believe every panel is a painting.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is.
The panel that I really spoke to me, which is Kagurabachi 777. Yeah. When I go over this panel, I'm going to try to overanalyze this panel from a place as someone who is just seeing a work of art in a gallery. Most common people don't go into the gallery knowing knowing Monet's story or knowing everything about Da Vinci that went into his creations. So I want to do that with these panels. We're gonna look at these and I'm gonna try to analyze this without giving away any spoilers. This is Kagurabachi 777. That in itself started this series. Seeing in Kagurabachi the importance of numbers, and seeing that in chapter 77, page 7, we get a double page spread. Like, this feels like Kono, the author of Kagurabachi, wishing for good luck. It's like a prayer of good luck by making this the one of the impact panels of the chapter. And it being a double page spread, if you put up each panel of this in a gallery, these would be the big ones. These would be the stars of the show. And 7777 is the star of the show. And let's analyze this a little bit further. Let's see what this story can reveal. Starting from how you would build this, the horizon line, where this clash is happening. A clash at the vanishing horizon point is perfect visual to draw your eye to, but it also works so perfectly with a clash for that to be the horizon line. For those of you who are artists, because in a clash like this, you want to have some energy, some energetic lines, and we get those lines, and those lines are also helping the eye keep perspective in this. It's not just helping the artist, it's helping our eyes keep perspective while literally causing an impact making an impact into the story. You can say this clash being at that point is showing that these ideals are colliding, and we're going to have to get to the point where one comes out on top. The horizon line is also thought of as, with these beautiful radial lines, can be like the star, the sun of the moment. What made me love this moment is not just how it builds off that horizon line, but it makes that horizon line like the sun that rises from the horizon line. It makes that the star of this moment. If we dig in further to what these lines are also creating, which made me love this when I first read it, is that with these lines, what explodes from the point of vanishing that comes into our perspective is this huge onomatopoeia, this huge clashing ding, like a bell that sound resonates out. This is Hosokono taking an onomatopoeia and exploding out of the page. This is going past the gutters into like its own realm to reach us. This is the manga telling you, buckle up. This is where round one starts. 3 weapons, a sword clashing, tools that are connected to a person. These tools are swords that are your weapons in conflict. It's your pen. And all of their swords are clashing here. Everybody here is cladded also in black garb in this panel. Yes, in a medium where it's white, black, and gray. And in a panel, as you can see, where there's so much white in the panel, really, the white is what fills up the page. The black is what's drawing you in. And these 3 characters are the ones cladded in black. And you can understand by their clothing, their tools that they're using, that they're people of, people who have darker thoughts in terms of they're willing to kill for their ideals. That's why they're in this black. That's why they're using swords. I haven't even told you anything about these characters, and that's just what I can pick up from looking at this. Now, let's break down each individual and even the moment a little. Let's get to the moment. Your eyes in a manga starts on the right, and it usually goes to who is taking up the most space. We see here that in a double page spread, if you were reading this in a book, like most manga come out in, it's not an online thing where we can just swipe. These are books, right? So the artistry is crafted behind the medium of a book. And this double page spread works so masterfully. This character, he gets a whole side to himself. He, in terms of economy towards the page, actually gets the most economy. And what that can tell you is that he has the most force, the most impact in this panel. For you power scalers, for you boys, he's the strongest. Well, what's interesting about him, unlike the other two, is it's not just his blade that's shrouded in black. He's also has no vision. This person in this is looking away from the strike, unlike these two that are locked into the moment. He is turned away, not just as a blind person, but it seems like turned away from the moment. Blinded himself. And you could get that from his pose. Samara in this moment, his pose, his page economy, tells you that he's the most forceful, yet he's the most blind in this section. Then we go to the next person who probably has the most economy, leaking his sword into the other page, taking up most of this side, in front of the camera, in front of the viewpoint. Here we got Chihiro, who is the main star of the story, which you can get from how he's front, and your viewpoint is coming from over like him instead of the other two. It's pointing to, even his hand being in front points your eye towards the middle. He's someone else in this moment who drives your eyes, which helps drive the story in this moment. He is not, his sword isn't weathered in black, but he has these battle scars all over him. So this is not his first fight, you could tell. He's someone who's been wounded. His hands are front and center. These are things I'm picking up too. His hands are front and center in terms of, like, his hands are crafting this moment more than anybody. That's my take. But also, look how lasered in his eyes are. Lasered in. And it's his eyes are pointed towards Samara. We don't get his other eye. We don't get, like, his eye going towards, it's all of his focus is towards him, his energy. These two met at the moment first. These are the two clashes that are on top. And if you read the story, and this chapter no longer relevant, you could actually see what Hosokono is trying to tell you about Chihiro's focus. And I love that you can get that in this moment. Without me knowing what Hosokono is talking about, I know his focus is to Samara. And then the last character that your eyes really do pay attention to is this guy back here. And with further inspection, you can see he's the only one that's taken damage from this clash. There's a spread of blood just bursting off of him. He may be focused. He's focused on the clash. And he's just trying to defend himself while both of these people are, while both Chihiro and Samara more extended, Chihiro a little extended are actually acting. He's defending in these moments, being blown into the back. But if you don't even know the story, you can look at this moment and realize that these two take up your eye, and this person is just like a third in this three-way clash. He's just the extra, leading us to this resonating in the story outside of the building. It can't even handle this clash. And that's my overanalyzing of this moment. And I cheat a little bit because it's a double-page panel, but these panels are really... This panel is one of those panels that makes me really think that every panel is a painting. I know there's some huge things that I've missed in my overanalyzing of this one panel. I would love to hear what you guys get. Everyone's experience from this is going to be so different because you have so many different reference points. But, so, let's collect all of our over-analyzing of panels. The only rule is try not to spoil anything with your analyze. If you do, just put it, before. But yeah, let me know what you guys can see, because, man. And let me know other panels maybe you want me to, that you think some hidden gems, that should be analyzed like this. I'm not just doing Kagurabachi. I love all anime. There are so many others. There's some JoJo panels where there's some amazing body morphia stuff or like loose skin stuff. There's so many great Berserk panels, and not just those. I want those hidden gems. Artists, I know you've seen some. Give me a panel any panel. I want a panel that I've never read a story on, so that I can analyze it and show you how every panel is a painting. Peace.